Hello and welcome to Guns and Gear. Thought I'd make a quick video because I had a little excitement here in Virginia today, and unless you live up under a rock somewhere, we had a little bit of an earthquake. And I'm sure that it wasn't much to talk about from folks like from California and places that are used to a lot of earthquake activity. But around here, we haven't had one like that since the 1800s. So it was quite a little bit of an ordeal. I came home from work and I had a whole bunch of messages, folks wondering how I was, which I really appreciate that. I really do. So I figured I would make a video and let y'all see, yeah, I'm okay. The house survived. I live in Norfolk, Virginia, as most people know, and but I was in a meeting on the backside of Richmond today, and as it turns out, we weren't very far from Mineral, Virginia at all. Matter of fact, I think somebody said it was only like 20-30 minutes down the road. So it was pretty close to the epicenter of the earthquake. And we were sitting in a large meeting hall, and it started shaking, and you know, everybody was looking at each other like, is that a train? You know, it sounded like I guess a rumbling sound. And I thought, daggone, man, somebody must have ate lunch at Taco Bell. No. Actually, we really didn't know what to think. And it only lasted maybe 10-15 seconds, but it did shake the building really good. You could see the cars shaking. And, you know, we all thought that was a big deal there. Even the feller that was standing there speaking had to grab onto something there because I think it might have knocked him off balance a little bit when he first started. So everything's just fine, right? Well, my first impulse was I didn't know what it was. One of the guys that had one of those new phones said that just had an earthquake. And he didn't really know where the epicenter was. First thing I thought was, are we on the back side of it? Was it closer to home? So I wanted to call my wife and make sure she was okay. And couldn't get through. You know, because I had the same idea as millions of my friends. And we bogged down the cell phone system, the cell towers. So, and I don't know, I think maybe a cell tower or two might have been damaged, or at least the power to it was damaged because the signal just wasn't that good where it normally is. So we finished up our meeting. You know, didn't seem to affect us very much. Didn't really know that we were only minutes away from where the epicenter was. When I get into my vehicle to drive home, I turn on the radio, and man, I'm hearing about people clamoring in New York City and all up and down the northeastern seaboard. But the earthquake happened here, where I was. And then they started explaining that because the rocks in our faults are really hard, and so therefore the shock wave or whatever goes for a long distance. Unlike you folks in California, usually, you know, you feel it in that immediate area, and it really dissipates fast because the rock is crumbled up from all the activity. And I probably got that wrong, but that's my synopsis of what I was listening to on the radio. Well, you know, it got me to thinking that this might be a good time to talk about stuff. I was going to make a video anyway. You know, there's all kinds of folks that have kits, 72-hour emergency kits, bobs, bug-out bags, whatever. And I am someone who also has a little kit that I have in my car, my truck that is, and one that I kind of sort of carry around with me. This one kind of supplements the one in the car. And I thought this would be a good time to talk about that stuff because, you know, I could have got stuck in Richmond, okay? Outside of Richmond, heading back towards my home, there's some pretty good stretches of road there that there's not a whole lot of anything, right? So I could have found myself with the road messed up, the interstate messed up, and there's not very many ways to maneuver around in certain areas. Kind of basically we got 64 and tunnels, and that's just about it. So I've always carried stuff in my truck just in case. Thought I'd go over a little bit of that with y'all right now. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is guns, and I do have a concealed weapons permit, and I did have a gun with me. You know, I often advocate carrying a backup, but I got to admit that I don't always do that. But today I did happen to have 2 guns with me, and basically I had 2 primary carry guns with me. And that reason is because of the way I was dressed. I was going to have 1 gun with me, and then when I got done, if I was going to go out and eat dinner or do something else before I went home, I had another weapon that I could easily have carried with me if I didn't feel like that one was adequate. So I got some stuff here. I'm going to show y'all what's basically in my little kit here, and hopefully get you guys to thinking about that stuff, because quite honestly right now it's hurricane season, and we got a hurricane heading our way too. So here's some things to think about having with you. As I said before, I had 2 guns with me, and the reason for that I already explained. The gun I was mostly carrying today is a Colt Detective Special, and it's in 38 special. It's a 6-round 38 special, and I also had speed loader with extra ammunition. Now, the gun that I carry most often is this M&P 45 compact, and both of these weapons are loaded, so I'm not going to handle them but so much. And that was a gun that I was going to wear if I felt like it, if I felt the need to, which I didn't. And let's see, in this front pocket right here, I have the extra magazine that I often carry with it, and 1 other magazine that I normally leave in the bag. So that is the firearms portion of this. Now, of course, you have cell phone, flashlights, you know, multi-tool, which is in my pocket all the time. Chewing tobacco, which this is my backup can, by the way. I do carry a backup can because I always have a can in my pocket. That's important. You're going to get stuck somewhere for 24, 48 hours. You better have your bad habit with you. It'll just make it worse. I'm going to scoot over here where I can get to this bag a little easier. Now, inside this here pouch, I also have a few extra shells, and I keep some money in there. Now, this is important because if I'd have got stuck in Richmond, and it was bad enough for me to get stuck in Richmond, there might have been a hard time finding rooms, and some of those places may not even have electricity. So having some cash on hand for gas, food, and maybe lodging is a pretty good idea. Now, I'm a diabetic, so I always try to keep some food in my bag. This ain't exactly emergency foods. This is getting caught at the tunnel for a couple of hours kind of foods, and I'm starting to feel a little hungry. So I keep stuff like peanuts and almonds, Slim Jims, which is a very important part of any survival food diet. And I also have a little tube of these glucose tablets here in case my sugar should drop real low. Now, as you see, I got, or I don't know if you can see or not, I got a little Mora knife that I keep in there. Bought it for this bag. It stays in this bag. That's all I use it for, is this bag. Multi-tool. I've got medication in there. And I got a whistle, for signaling. I've got some, I got toothbrush, toothpaste, and got some toiletries in there. Spare batteries. I got these little neat little things that I found a couple of years ago. Let me dig down and show you all that real quickly because I think they're pretty cool. These little deals right here hold your batteries, keeps them together, keeps them organized somewhat, and they make them at least in these 3 sizes. I don't know about anyone. This is the 1, 2, 3 batteries. Here's some AAAs and some AA's. It's a great way, I think, to carry your batteries. It keeps them together. You can stack them on top of each other, fit them in little tight spots in your bag, and retrieve them rather easily. Now I got a tin here that's got miscellaneous vitamins and garbage like that that I keep in my bag. Always got to have some water with you, and I carry this water jug with me everywhere that I carry this pack. And I also, this is out of my truck. This is not part of my everyday carry or anything, but I always have one of these in the back. I used to carry a couple of them when I had an older vehicle, because if you've ever had problems with your radiator, you need to have some water with you. Now, I said I wasn't going to go through everything, and I'm not. Like, I got another flashlight poking out here. This little thing right here, I don't know what you call this. Flash drive, that's what it is. Got it at a SHOT Show a couple years back. 2006, I think. Anyway, this flash drive right here, I really don't have very much on it, but what I did, I had my wife help me put on there, is my medical records, her medical records, medications and things like that that we both take, and you know, each other's contact information, cell phone number, things of that nature. In case something should happen to me, they're going to yank this here flash drive off of this bag right here, and they're going to see if there's any way to get a hold of a loved one. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. Now, always good to have a good cell phone and keep that darn thing charged up. I have a car charger, so that helps out a bunch. Now, as far as all the other equipment in there, I got basic stuff. I got a fire steel and a lighter, stuff like that for starting a fire, because in my truck kit, I do have like some ramen noodles and stuff like that that I could enjoy a little bit better if they were warmed up. Okay. Now, it's good to have some stuff in your vehicle. Maybe have some stuff like this that you carry around with you. I don't carry this with me. I carry it to my truck and I sit it in the back seat. That's all I really do with it. But this has a little bit more expensive stuff that I would prefer not getting stolen, so I carry it in when I can, like into an office, or I carry it in at home when I come home. But I take it back out to the truck when I go somewhere. Probably a good idea right now to think about having yourself a little kit and keep it, because we got, what is it, Irene heading our way, hurricane. Hopefully you got some stuff stored up. Excuse me, as my dogs remind people that they're not allowed to use the sidewalk in front of the house. But anyway, good idea to have some stuff on hand. We try to keep enough dog food and water to maintain us for a week or 2 weeks at least. Isabel, when it hit our area some years back, a lot of places were out of power for 2 weeks. So we have a bare minimum of that. All right, boys, that's enough. All right, guys, that's going to end this video. Thank you so much for all the folks that PM'd me or put a message on my page or whatever, wondering if I was okay. I truly appreciate that. Everybody around here seemed to fare out okay. I hope the folks in New York City calm down and get their lives back to normal. I understand it's those folks are working off of a short fuse. So, especially this time of year, right? We're only a few weeks away from a very important date. Everybody take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, shoot straight on the range and in life. Thanks.